Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you had a great weekend. Today we are going to talk about how do boundaries protect you from manipulation, because we talk about boundaries very much, like in every day, like, oh, you've crossed my boundaries, oh, those are my boundaries, but how does it really protect you from manipulation? So first is are just like limits we put in place to protect ourselves. This can be something like our preferences, our values, our limit, our interests, or just anything which really defines who we are. And something about boundaries also is it's just more of like where you. I think a simple definition is it's where you end and where the other begins. It's like the line which when someone crosses, they've entered your space or they've entered your territory. And actually, we have first to differentiate between boundaries and walls. So boundaries come as an aspect of you taking care of your own well-being or as an aspect of your own self-love. But walls are more of coming out of fear. So boundaries actually can be quite flexible because boundaries let the good in and keep the bad away. But walls actually keep the bad in and keep away the good and the bad, or the good which was supposed to come and help you get out that bad. So when you have walls, actually you may not even be willing to seek help, like you are blocking away everyone, you are blocking away even the angels who are supposed to come into your life and, let's say, help you with something. But when you have boundaries, it's more of permeable, it's letting the good in but keeping the bad outside. So that's the difference between boundaries and walls. And actually, you keep walls because of fear. We keep walls because of fear of being vulnerable, or of fear of or fear which is stemming from your past experiences. But with boundaries, you keep boundaries because you know you deserve a better life and you know you deserve to be treated so well. And actually, if there is one thing which can keep you away from any kind of toxic relationships, is understanding your boundaries and understanding what it takes to keep and uphold them. It's not about just understanding, it's about knowing how to assert those boundaries and knowing, like, what's stopping you from keeping those boundaries and knowing what to do about it. If it's guilt, if it's low self-worth, you work on those things so that you get to this point where you really understand and embody those boundaries, and it will keep you away from any kind of toxic relationships. It can be any toxic relationship with your dysfunctional family or your friends or your partner or any marriage or religion, just anything. It's just something which you really feel that you. So in short, like, boundaries are things which you feel that you cannot tolerate from others and you cannot tolerate from yourself, or things which you can tolerate from others and you can tolerate for yourself. It's just like limit, like if it's a no, it's a no, if it's a yes, it's a yes. Yeah. And I'm going to be explaining to you like 4 ways in which boundaries help you or keep you away from manipulation. The first thing is boundaries provide these framework that determines, like, or this framework that determines what you cannot tolerate from others. So because when you have this framework, you will know when you are being manipulated, or we can call this reference point to determine if you are being manipulated. Because without this reference point, actually, like, you will not know what is acceptable from others. So when you have this reference point, like, for example, like, let's say, for example, something like, I cannot let someone, let's say, borrow money from me without them repaying. So let's say if you have that framework and then you are encountering financial abuse, then your partner, let's say, keeps taking your money and keeps taking your money without even being accountable for how he's spending the money. But now when you have these boundaries, you know that if your partner takes money without, like, being accountable, that's them crossing your boundary. So the moment they cross your boundary like 2 3 times, you understand that that partner is probably manipulating you or is probably financially abusing you, because you have a framework of the acceptable behavior. Like, it is not acceptable for someone to take advantage of you financially. That's the first instance. It provides a framework for acceptable behavior. Another example is also, let's say, if someone is love bombing you. Let's say if someone is showering you with the words of affection, telling you the good things you want, telling you the sweet words so that you can do something for them. But even if someone does those things to you and you understand your boundaries and you understand what it takes to uphold them, that person can call you all the sweet words in this world, but they will not make you lower your boundaries. They will not manipulate you because you understand the acceptable behavior from others. You understand that even, for example, even if this person calls me these words or this princess or prince or something, let's say your boundary is I will not sleep with anyone on the first date or on the first, let's say in the first 1 week of dating. So because the unacceptable behavior is not sleeping with someone in the first week of dating, even if that person calls you a million times, you will not accept. And the moment you just feel that that person is pressing that boundary, you just know that this person is trying to manipulate you to sleep with you. So that's just one instance. It provides a framework of acceptable behavior. The second one actually is it provides also a reference point. A reference point here means that it's more of this baseline of detecting manipulation. So the first instance was framework to keep away the manipulators, but now it's detecting manipulation. For example, let's say if someone is trying to invalidate your emotions, like call you, oh, your emotions are not valid, or your emotions are, or you are overreacting, or just something which tries to push your boundary. So the moment someone pushes your boundary, you just understand that this person wants to manipulate you, because it's like you have this fence and someone is trying to instead of requesting for something, they are trying to use subtle or insidious ways to try to get something inside your property. So when someone tries to get inside your property without like using the gate, it means that they're trying to steal something from you. They're trying to manipulate you. So the moment you have boundaries, you understand that that person is trying to manipulate you. But without boundaries, without the fence, someone will just come into your property and take away things and go. But now with these boundaries, you feel that if someone has just climbed the fence without even requesting, because they want to use you for their own benefit, they want to manipulate you. So it provides a reference point to detect manipulation before you are manipulated. So let's say if someone is blaming you for something you did not do, but you understand your boundaries, that actually those are the things I never do. Like let's say I never talk ill about someone. My boundaries are I never take responsibility for someone else's behavior. You see, so if someone blames you for their own shortcomings, of course you'll detect that this person is trying to manipulate me, because you understand your boundaries, because you understand your limits, you understand your acceptable behavior from others, or your acceptable behavior for yourself. So that's the second instance. The third instance is boundaries also provide the baseline for decision making. So normally what happens is, especially in manipulative relationships, is your partner may, for example, tell you that hey, they are going to change their behaviors, or they are going to change some undesirable behavior they are engaging in. Let's say you don't like something about their drinking, or they are flirting, right? So what happens is they might promise you that they will change, but when you have boundaries, you give them ultimatums, because you deeply understand the things you're not supposed to tolerate. Let's say your partner tells you that hey, sorry for what I did last week, but I'm going to change. But you can now assert to them that hey, if you cross that boundary the second time, I will leave the relationship, or we'll just have to end this relationship, because you have a baseline of the things you're not supposed to tolerate. You have this baseline, and it's deeply ingrained in you, like this baseline of the things which someone else cannot do to you. So when you have this baseline, it can be the basis of giving them ultimatums, not the normal thing of like just brushing it aside because you don't understand what you value or what you cannot tolerate from others. But now with boundaries, you deeply understand, and you use it as a basis of making the decision. Because now the next, let's say you give them like the last warning and tell them, hey, the next time you cross that boundary, it's over between me and you. Of course, the other person will either cross the boundary again, but you'll know what to do next. You'll probably leave the relationship, right? Also, the other person will know that this person actually knows their boundaries, and I can't even lie to them, and it may trigger some certain sort of change from the other person. So it really helps. Like, it can help someone who's, like, let's say, slightly manipulative to change their ways, because they'll need to be responsible and take full accountability of their actions and behaviors, because they know that you're not a person to play with, you're not a person to toy with, because you understand yourself. You have ultimatums. You don't just live life without really making people feel responsible for their actions. So the boundaries help you with setting ultimatums and provide a baseline for your decision making, which helps you to make those big decisions in life without even taking so much time. Yeah. The fourth and the last reason is boundaries are just a proof of your own self worth and your own self confidence. Here's the thing, like, when you really understand your values, your preferences, your likes, the things you cannot tolerate from others, it simply means that you prioritize your own well being so much to the point that you can let everything go for the sake of your own well being. The point that you can let that person who claims they love you, or who claims that they'll build that good future for you for the sake of keeping your boundaries. Like, you will not, you just deeply understand that, hey, my life is important, or my well-being is important, or I deserve love, I deserve healthy relationship, because you have a healthy relationship with yourself. Because healthy boundaries is a healthy relationship with yourself. Like, you value yourself so much to the point that you cannot let someone use you, or someone manipulate you for their own benefit. Yeah. So that's it. So boundaries are actually really great. And if you don't have boundaries, understand that people will manipulate you, and we just have to be honest and tell ourselves that there are manipulative people out there who will use you, and it's up to you to have those healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries here means that knowing the things which you really value, which the things which really promote your own well-being. And once you understand those things, yes, you might feel guilty when you are setting them, but it doesn't matter. It's better to feel guilty but live with authenticity than not feel guilty, like, by let people just use you as they wish. It's your property, like, you are your own property, and the other people are also their own property. So let people play with their property, but for you, just take care of yourself by having these healthy boundaries. So boundaries will protect you from manipulation, and it will make your life even easy, because you will know the things you're not supposed to tolerate, you'll know your limits, you'll know the acceptable behavior, and you know, like, what you really need in your life. So hope you found that informative, guys, and if you'd like to learn more about boundaries, there are actually great books. I think there's a book called Boundaries by, I think it's John Henry or something. Very great book which explains everything about boundaries. And also in future I'll be coming up with a course on boundaries. So just stay tuned, and hope you found that informative. Have a wonderful week.